is valuable. And first of all, for those of you that may not know me, some of you do, but those that don't, I'm Tori Carmen. I am the Mohawk District Executive, and going through getting into this time of the year, it's been really kind of crazy. We've all been going in a couple different directions, and with COVID and everything else, what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to put something together for information for the going into the fall. So this is kind of a membership information meeting. I'm going to go over a few different things, go into a little bit more details, but please feel free. If you guys have any questions, I do have somebody monitoring the chat, so feel free to put them in the chat, and then we'll answer them as we're going or even at the end. I did it. I almost forgot to do the recording of this, okay? So sorry, I just had to put that on. So we will be recording this. We will be putting it out there for you, so you will have it. I will also send a copy of it to everybody through the info. When you register it, I can go in there and email everything, because there's a couple links in here too, so I'll make sure that everybody gets them. Again, I have my screen is on this side with all your nice faces on it, but my presentation's here. So if I look this way, it's just I'm looking to see if anybody's got their hands up or needs any questions. All right, so one of the things is, are you tough enough to be a scout? This is what you see there too, is one of the things you'll see in one of the slides of a few things that I put together for recruitment purposes. It's actually a Facebook post to be able to put out there, and then you can put your unit's name or anything on there. So I will also send these out to everybody, so feel free if you want to use them. One of the things that we're going to be going over today, some of the discussions, is the membership plan. I know a lot of you guys know that we're going to be having a training on Thursday. That is going to be how to do a joining night. That is going to go over how to do a virtual joining night for those of us that want to do a joining night versus an in-person. We'll go over a couple different ones in this meeting. But you will, so that's on Thursday. That's going to be just going over the basics of how to do virtual, how to do the table setup, how to invite people in, how to do things like that virtually. So this is going to kind of go, I'm going to go into a couple different creative ideas on this, different types of resources, the Scout Talk videos, virtual recruiting, and how to be creative. We've had some units do some really great job with some creative different things to do. Your Be a Scout pin, because that's going to be very instrumental this year on how to make sure that that is set up, make sure you have all your key information in there. Online registration, because online registration is now live. So we will be doing registration through the internet and make it a lot easier to go right through that registration process for you guys. No paper, no worry about collecting money. We'll go over that. As a council, we are also going to be doing a peer-to-peer challenge this year for a membership challenge. We'll go over that. There's a membership unit planning guide. We'll kind of dive into that. And some other types of resources for you guys. All right, so one of the things is like we have a recurring theme, as you guys will see, which is heroes start here. I thought when we were coming up with different themes for this year, we thought that really kind of was very good for this year. Kind of puts a lot of things in perspective between our first responders, all those essential workers, everybody, and also our scouts. So as one of the things that we go through is like our mission, the missions of the Boy Scouts of America and Twin Rivers Council is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetime. Oh, hang on. You know what? It would help if I share this. I am so sorry. You guys are probably all like, what is she looking at? Can everybody see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. Thank you. There we go. That makes a lot more sense what I'm talking about, doesn't it now, guys? All right. So, as I was saying, ethical and moral choices over their lifetime by instilling them the values of the Scout Oath and Scout Law. One of the promise to parents is that scouting in the Twin Rivers offers family fun adventures. This will help youth develop leadership skills, values important to good citizenship and service to others. One thing we look at as a goal that we like to have each one of our, for the units, there's usually two goals that we look at for when we're doing scouting recruitment. One is register the youth who have been recruited through flyers, social media, friends, and membership challenges. So you want to make sure that you're getting that stuff out there. You really want to make sure that you are making your unit look special and and scouting. You also want to make sure that parents have the information for upcoming events, especially new the new parent orientation guide. That is one key thing that we want to make sure is that, you know what, when you sign your kid up, you want to know what's going on. So some things as we go through this, you'll see as instrumental, making sure that you have certain things that are ready to go and ready to go for your parents, because right now our program, a lot of people are worried about membership this year. They're like, oh, I don't know. Well, you know what, we could also be that diamond in the rough, because unfortunately there are no other programs that are running this year. So scouting is still moving forward. We are still going strong. So this could be a really great opportunity to introduce the program to some of the youth that are out there in our areas. So this could be a really good year to make sure that we're getting it out there, especially through social media, talking to friends, talking to family members, maybe people that thought about doing it. This might be a good time, because a lot of schedules aren't be running from soccer to football to baseball to this to that. So this could be a really great opportunity for membership and introducing it to a lot of them. Why is recruiting a new scouting family so important? Number one is retention. You got recruitment, and then you got your volunteers. And then why is it important? Retention. Our retention rate as a council is roughly like around 72%, which isn't too horrible. We would like to make sure that we want that up. For Mohawk district, we're roughly like around 73-74% retention rate. Contributing factors to scouts graduating from high school, general attrition and unit decline. We want membership growth is function of recruiting a greater number of youth when they are dropped each year. So we want to make sure that we're retaining them. And one of the big things is retention is having a program. We want to make sure that we're developing a program, that we have a program going forward, even if it's virtual, whether versus it's virtual, if it's in person with social distancing with your masks. You want to make sure that there is a program so that when they're coming to scouting, they're getting the value out of scouting. So we really want to make sure that they are, that we have that all ready to go throughout the year. Recruitment. The future of scouting depends on, in the regions, depending on the recruitment efforts. So basically, as much as you recruit is the much that you're going to get back. So you really need to make sure that you're getting it out there. We know the benefits of the program for the youth and their families. We want to make sure that when we're out there and we are recruiting, and even our scouts, that we know the benefits and that we're able to talk to people, talk to the families about it. If we don't take recruitment seriously, we are limiting the benefit that scouting can have. So if we don't take it and we don't go out there, then we are limiting what we can give, because we're not going to be getting those youth in. Why is it important? Poor scout recruitment is given a year, sorry, I'm just letting some person in, has a lasting impact for generations all the way through Scouts BSA. Reaching out to new markets will be really important for our future of scouting. So thinking of different ways of being able to do it. Volunteers, they're one of our most important things, right? Because scouting is volunteer driven. It is volunteer driven. They are one of the most important in the key role for the success in scouting. So we want to make sure that our units are more supportive to ensure their success by success that they can provide by staff alone. They want more volunteer engagement between leaders in different units and districts to help leaders that they are a part of something larger than just a unit. So we want to make sure, so at a unit level, you want to make them feel important. You want to give them value. You want to know that you want them to know that they're making an impact. A lot of the times, we get a lot of volunteers, and then sometimes we want to do things certain ways, but then they don't feel that they're valued. And sometimes they may take a step back, or you have that shy mom that's in the corner that just wants to be asked to do something. So don't be surprised as a district level. I mean, Greg can attest in our district, sometimes it's just reaching out to people that you may not think would. And the next thing you know, it starts snowballing, and you start getting and building up more relationships and building up a lot more people. So the volunteer engagement and making sure that they're involved, checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. Sometimes simple things like that can go a very long way. Now with recruitment, one of the cool things that I've been looking at, there's been a couple different things. I've been doing a lot of research about different councils, seeing what they're doing, seeing different types of ways that they are recruiting. One is doing, and again, before I dive into this, I just want to know, because I know some people, you look at this and it may be geared towards just Cub Scouts. It's not. It is geared for both the Scouts, BSA, and Cub Scouts. Both of them have the same foundation and same principles when you're going to be doing recruiting. Everything is pretty much the same. It's just a matter of what direction you're going in. So anything that we are talking about tonight, it may it's not just geared towards Cub Scouts, it's also geared towards Scouts BSA, because anything here you can take and you can bring it into there. So it's just a matter of how you formulate it to make it work for each individual unit. One council actually with this was actually doing really cool. It was a virtual rally plan to recruit scouts during the COVID-19 and not being able to have access to schools or not being able to have in-person activities. One of the things that they do is that through an online application tools, a scout can hold, a scout unit can hold a virtual rally, invite people to join digitally, to complete their registration totally online, and preparing to hold a virtual rally or meeting. The first place is to start a digital safety moment that provides useful tips on how to conduct safe and virtual scout meetings. So it was really kind of cool. I did put the link down here, so it actually goes into a lot more detailed plan on how to set one up. But this could be geared a lot towards the Scouts BSA, like the Scouts troops. Like, instead, like we would call like an open house, you could do a virtual rally plan. Have Scouts invite their other friends. Have, get out there and, have them come to a link and have them email, and you can email them. You can do a registration for it so that you can set it up so that they can come on and then be able to get any links safely through that. But a virtual meeting, like the recruitment plan would be basically step one, you're going to organize a meeting. You're going to plan an agenda. You're going to send out invitations to the rally. You're going to hold a virtual rally, and then you're going to accept new members online, and you can email and social media peer-to-peer recruitment plan. The cool thing is that you can, and when you're setting this up, you want to make sure that you're doing fun and engaging things with them too. Even if you showing them what Scouts do, put on a presentation, especially with Scouts BSA, if you've been camping, if you've done even some of the virtual stuff, anything, create a slideshow, great pictures, create a little presentation so that the families can see what you're doing in scouting. So they're not just all sitting there listening to you talk. A lot of it is visual too. You want to make sure that they are seeing the fun things that their kids can also participate in. Now, this is one thing geared towards Cub Scouts. One thing that was put out there was a drive-up sign-up night. Now, again, these are different creative ways of doing it. You could set up in a parking lot, possible your school or your chartering organization, and have families drive up to the sign-up stations. You can still set up your stations to do 1, 2, 3, or 4 tables. You can be there, so it's still social distancing. You have your masks on. You can still have conversations with the families. You can have little Cub Scout kits to be able to give to the kids, something for them to be able to put together, information on the pack, information on the unit, a quick little craft for them to do to get them engaged. So you could still have a welcome station, and you can have a QR code, which a lot of us are all on our Scouts, on your BS Scout.org page, your PIN page, where you would update your PIN. There is a QR code, and there is also a URL that you can use. The QR code, you can have that right there. Parents can scan it, and then they can go ahead and they would be able to fill their application out online. They'll be able to pay online. So it's no contact. You don't have to worry about going back and forth. You don't have to worry about paper. You don't have to worry about, collecting money. Anything can all be done right there. Station 2, you could set up, what do we do? You want to provide the families with your information. This is your table that you want to make your pack or your troop, like, boom, this is what we do. You want to make it fun. You want to have your Pinewood Derby car out there. You want to have picture boards. You want to have a slideshow. You want to have, anything that's out there to show what they are doing and what you're doing in your unit. This is the table that's pretty much going to sell them. You want to make sure that you are just bragging about everything that you've done. And then Station 3 is where you can have a Den Leader welcome, Den Leader, Cub Scout, Cub Master, a welcome, a Q&A. If parents have questions, they want to have, the questions on it. And then 4 could be checkout. This is an opportunity for PAC to collect any dues. You can sell a PAC t-shirt. You can remind families of the first upcoming event or activity, give them any type of information that's needed. Because you want to give out as much information as possible that you already have to brag about your unit. Meeting times, locations, list of leaders, contacts. You want to share with your chartering organizations, schools, community organizations, and families. So one thing I have a picture on here, which again, I can also send out to everybody, is you want to make sure you get your PAC calendar all set, or your unit calendar all set, your troop calendar all set. Have different things in there. Sit down, because as they're coming in, you want to be able to see. They want to see going forward, even if it's till December right now. You want to make sure that they see that there's program. What do we have signed up? What do we got going on? They don't want to see a whole bunch of blank and wondering what's going to be going on, even if it's a simple hike or it's social distancing or how are the dens going to meet. And that's things to think about also too, as you're doing your joining nights and your information nights. You want to kind of make sure you have that plan and that backup, that if you have families that ask, you know, are we doing virtual? Are we doing this? Are you doing that? Is the whole pack meeting? So there's different things that you want to make sure and work with your committees and sit down. And when you're doing your planning for the fall, sit down and also contact your DE. You know, Mohawk knows they can reach out to me. You got Erica and Rihanna. They'd be glad to sit down and say, okay, whether it's virtual. I did a social distance in-person one this past Saturday morning, and it was actually phenomenal to see that many. I mean, there were like 7 or 8 different leaders there from the unit. We sat down, we went through all of their membership stuff, any questions, any concerns that they may have going into the fall. Reach out to your DEs, because that's what we're here for too. We're here to help walk you through that, to make sure that you guys have all the answers, the best possible ways of being able to do things. But you want to make sure you got your PAC calendar, a PAC newsletter. I have all of these also in a fillable form, so I'll make sure I get them all out to everybody that was registered. Have these available. Make little bags, make little kits, make little things so that if you do a drive-through night or you do a virtual night, you have everything all set. You can still do a virtual packet to all of the units, all of your parents that are on there. You know, have them sign in through their chat and give an information, give them an email address, and then you can send them all of this information also virtually. You can do a virtual packet for them, or you can also make ones to have them so that they do a drive up, or you do an in-person recruitment night, social distanced, and having it breaking up. You can have all these packets already pre-made, ready to go in little baggies or in something for them so that they can pick them up and they can be able to go. All right, I think one of the, here are some recruitment resources. Some of the different things that we have going on for recruitment resources is we also have over here is our Hero Start Here. We are going to be having soon a TRC membership landing page. So this is where, and it's going to be a direct landing page that you can go to that's going to have all of your resources for your recruitment. This is going to have flyers that you can order. You'll be able to order flyers. We are working on doing either like a jot form or a Google form so that you can fill it out with the information you need. Now, either we can get you a digital flyer so that you can send it out digitally, or we can also do, print out flyers and hopefully, getting them to the school so at least the schools can get them out. However you guys want to work that, we can definitely do that, and we will make sure that that's going to be on there. We're also going to have another one that's going to be an ideal year of scouting, and this is going to have a lot more of resources going forward, because as a council, we have also created each one of the field staff has created, we have gone through and taken all the adventures for the den leaders and all the required, and we've made PowerPoint interactive presentations for the kids to help the den leaders in the fall, whether they are virtual or even in person. It gives a lot of ideas. I do that with my den. It's really kind of cool. We do virtual ones, but I also set up a Google Classroom and invited all the parents. And then I post that up there and then let the parents also be able to work through it as we're doing it too. Then they have all the list of the materials. They have everything that we're doing. So that's going to be coming soon. So keep your eyes out for that. You also have your beascout.org pin. This is going to be very instrumental this year. A couple of these up here, it's not going to let me play it, but I'll let you, if that's an interactive, the first triangle here that's not working is that is a Instagram or a Facebook story where it's interactive. And I have a couple of these others here. I don't mind sending them out. You guys can put your unit names on them, everything. They're Instagram posts. They are Facebook posts. You can get them out there, put them out onto some places like Nextdoor. I see Alicia's on, and 357 with the girls unit. She was using like Rotterdam Spoon, which is a local, Facebook page that you can put things out there that's going on, events and things that are local in Rotterdam. So she had put out put a Scout Talk video on there. So take advantage of those too. Those are great places to be able to recruit and be able to put these things up. Besides taking our lawn signs and putting them everywhere and making sure that they're up and ready to go and that you have your unit information on there. Facebook also, again, Instagram, making sure that you're posting stories that, I think Instagram, your Facebook, next door, anything you can think of that's community related. A lot of even your local stores. I know like the Stewarts have a community board. Put something up there. I mean, even like your churches, your libraries, even though that, even if they're virtual, maybe a lot of them wouldn't mind sending out a blurb, especially if it's your chartering organization. Hey, can we put this flyer for our unit in there? They put it in a virtual newsletter. Don't be afraid to ask because you don't know the answer unless you ask. So there's a lot of ways that we can actually get your unit and get your information out there. Just take advantage of those ways and be a little bit creative with it also.
Hey, Tori,
Yeah.
can you touch on a little bit as to Jake's question here in regards to the digital flyers and how they can be edited with their own pack information so that it's personalized to them?
Yes, absolutely, Jake. When you actually send in that the Jot form or the Google form, we are actually creating that this week. So that should be out so we can put it on the membership landing page. It's going to have all that information on there so that you would be able to give us the information that you want. We will do it and get it all set for you. So we would tell you your unit, any unit information you guys want on there, whether your unit name, your contact, where you're located, where your meeting is, if you have a Facebook page, if it will have all of that information on there for you, Jake. And then all we would do is, and then we would send you a digital copy so that if you want a digital copy to be able to send out to the schools, because I know some people have very good relationships already with their chartering organization or with the school, or if you wanted printed flyers with the information that you give us, then we can send it out. But that flyer will have all of that information so that you can fill it in, so you can let us know exactly what you want on it. And then we can print them out. Just like we did last year, you guys would fill out what you guys want on it, and then it would get sent to Digital Express. They would get printed. I would either deliver them to the school or I would deliver them to the unit. It's going to be the same way, except this way we're doing everything in-house, so it would just come to us directly. So, Jake, did that answer any questions?
Yeah. And then could you touch on the availability of the yard signs, the cost, how many per unit, where do they get them from, that type of thing?
All right, lawn signs. I will say that with the lawn signs, we are limited this year. They are free. They doesn't cost the units anything to get them, at least at the council what we have in stock. I know you can probably go on the national shop and be able to get more if you wanted to order them for your own unit. But we do have some in stock. It is limited. We're trying to maybe do probably like 5 to 10 per unit if we're even able to do that. I don't know if Erica or Rihanna are on. I think there's a very limited spot at between the Cub Scouts and the Scouts BSA one in the office. We did do an inventory. So we want to get as many out there, but we just make sure that we don't mind giving them, and it's kind of gonna be like a first come, first serve, unfortunately, this year with them. But once we get them out there, make sure that we're just putting them in high traffic areas. That is one thing that they will ask is, making sure that we're getting them out there. Yes, we want them in our neighborhoods too, but let's get them out there in front of your chartering organization, getting them out there on a main road where they can see it with your unit information. But with those, you can contact your DE and let them know. Send them an email, send Rihanna, Erica, or myself an email saying, hey, can I get lawn signs? We can get what we can, and we can either put them, we do have a drop box down at the council office because we are only, staff is only in there Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm usually in the office on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but there's a drop box that is now in the Scout office or the Scout shop, because Scout shop is open for those of you that didn't know. And it's in there. So that box will be there and be available to all of the units to either drop stuff off or pick things up from the Scout office. And that will be there Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays to 1. It will be there the time that the Scout shop is open. And during Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, one of the staff is always out there checking it, usually once an hour, or Chris will let us know if somebody's in there. So we would make sure that we go in and can take a look at that. So we can always, you let us know, we can take the signs, we can roll them up, put a rubber band around them, or we can even leave you the sign stands if you need them to. Me, if you're in Mohawk, I don't have a problem. If you let me know, I don't mind meeting you somewhere either. And dropping them off to you, social distance with masks, I can drop them off to you or meet up with you somewhere also for them. But they are limited in the Scout office. Unfortunately, this year, it's been, as we all know, it's been a little bit tough. So what we have in the office in stock is what we have. So if you want them, I would suggest getting your orders and getting things in for that now. Any other questions?
No, you've got them all so far.
Okay, cool. All right. So
Lori.
moving on next. Next is Scout Talk videos. This is something actually really cool that National put together this year, especially with schools. They are limiting the outside entry due to the pandemic, as we all know, and I'm sure you guys are all dealing with that just with your own children and things in there. I have talked to a couple principals in our district, and there's going to be no real access for us because we as DEs used to go in and do Scout Talks to all the kids, whether we did it during lunch or we went room to room. We used to talk about scouting, and we used to hand out flyers for the kids to bring home and get the kids excited about it. Obviously, we're going to have very limited access and actually no access to the schools this year due to the pandemic. But one of the cool things is that the BSA has developed Scout Talk videos. They're all high definition, really nice Scout Talks, and they have like 5-question videos to reach parents with key information about scouting. They're not very long, so it's not like a parent has got to watch a 5-minute video. They're very quick. They're to the point. Which features like diverse group of speakers sharing details about scouting and can be downloaded from our BSA brand center. So if you check out the videos in our BSA, which is at scoutingwire.com, and again, I'll send this out to you guys so you guys have the link, and it's great. Some of they have the Scout Talk videos where they actually have kids talking to the kids about the fun things that they do in scouting, and then they also have ones that are geared toward the parents, so that you can have, it shows, Scout BSA talk, employees talking to the parents and answering those different questions. So take advantage of those. Those you can download them. Some of you got good video, editors on your computers. You can actually maybe put in a slide in the beginning with your unit information, put your pin at the end of it, but take advantage of those. We are reaching out to a lot of the schools to see if they would put the videos either on their Facebook pages, seeing if because some of them are doing Peachtree or they're going out with all these, these blasts. So we want to try to make sure that we can put these in there also. So take advantage of those. Go on there and take a look at them. There's a lot of information on that BSA brand center, and all the volunteers and all you guys have access to this. There is a lot of recruitment stuff on there, between pictures, between logos. You have your videos. It's the recruitment assets that are on there are phenomenal, and you guys all have access to them to be able to go on there and use them. They're all high definition, all really good. So take a look at those. Now, fall recruitment. Okay, this is a year that we're going to have to be creative and to reach out to our families virtually, or even in person. Like, we want to be creative, think outside the box. Number one is our joining nights and community events. Host a drive-through sign-up events. Do a table or a booth at a community event with flyers, sign-in sheets, information online. You can have your online information registration. A lot of us right then and there, if you have your tablet, you have your phone, anything, they can go right online and also do all of that registration and be able to pay online and do everything online. But think outside the box of doing different types of things. You can do the drive-through community events. I mean, I know that we're kind of limited to some of them, but think about, like, I know, like up at the Altamont Fair, they're doing like a food truck festival. Maybe they might let you have a table up there to have it off to the side, as long as everybody's social distanced and things like that, and wearing masks. Think of different ideas to be able, that would draw attention, and do it in a park. Maybe you can, have like a pavilion and have something and hold a recruitment event there. Number two, your Scout Talks and social media. You want to make videos to use at digital school talks and signups. You want to see, a lot of the schools, again, get the digital out there for them. If we're not allowed to visit the students in classrooms, we need to find other ways to be able to reach them. One thing to reach out to is that I know I actually had reached out to stewards actually on popcorn, but I also asked them, and there might be a possibility that we could even run some scouting videos through their television on the top. I actually heard back from her today. So, I mean, look at different things like that. Some of the places that may have videos, ask them if they would be able to run one of these videos. It doesn't hurt to ask. Number 3, outside the box ideas. Do a recruitment hike. Actually, this is one that we are doing with our unit, is a trunk or treat community event. Halloween, October, things are starting to settle down. Turn your recruitment night into a trunk or treat and make it a community event. Get it out there. You know, you can do that at the Cub level. You can do that at Scouts BSI level. Who doesn't love dressing up for Halloween and going around and get candy? I mean, come on. So you get it out there to your units. You know, make it an event. Make it a community event. You could do it maybe in a parking lot, you know, at a price chopper or at your school, at your chartering organization, and have it. Everybody spaced out. Everybody's in their own space. You can have the, you know, make that, do a welcome. We do have one unit that's doing a welcome to the pack troop boxes, where they're doing, you know, a little box that's going to have all the information for the unit and have everything there. And that's going to have like their pack calendar. It's going to have different types, like maybe a little craft. We have ones that are doing that to their current, for retention. They're going to do welcome back boxes to all of their Cub Scouts that are in their unit, and just letting the parents know, hey, we're going to be around on this date to this date. We are going to be dropping off welcome boxes, and in it is going to be like their calendar for the year. It may be their book and their neckerchief, because they have, you know, they have crossed over, and, you know, putting in maybe a little bit of a craft, letting them know a list of things that they want, that they are going to need. Maybe going to the dollar store and getting some glue sticks, scissors, and things like that, that if you're doing virtually, you're giving the parent like almost like their own little box for their getting, you know, so thinking of different things outside of the box for those different types of ideas. You got geofencing and Nextdoor. Geofencing is a tool within Facebook that enables a user to promote scouting events like joining nights or any event that you're hosting, pancake breakfast or anything like that, is based on a geographic area. I do believe it's like $1 a day. Last year, I think it was like $14 for like 2 weeks to be able to do it. And that's what's nice, because then you can pinpoint different things that you want to target. Last year, we did target around the schools. But if you really think about it, the schools, the parents are only dropping them off in the morning and maybe picking them up in the afternoon, and it's only Monday through Friday. Think of different areas to pinpoint. You could pinpoint a Stewart's in your area, a Price Chopper, a Target, a Walmart, a park, any place that would get high traffic areas, that every time they actually drove through there, it's going to ping and say, hey, this might be an event that you're interested in. So that is a way to be able to do it, if you're to be able to get your unit out there. And Nextdoor is a social networking service for neighborhoods. It can be used to promote scouting in certain neighborhoods by creating a posting event. Now with Nextdoor, you would have to do it in your own areas. It's not something like I could go in and do for you, because it's all based on your area. Like I set one up in my area, and it gives you like a certain range and area all the way around it. Now I'm not all of Rotterdam, but I'm a certain section of it. So there might be a couple different people like that are on your committee maybe to set this up so it gets wide and far for everybody. But both of them are really good ways to be able to get your unit out there. Be a Scout, your Be a Scout pin. All right, by a show, well, half you got your cameras off. But I was going to say, by a show of hand of those that have your cameras on, how many of your pins are updated? Or you even know what a Be a Scout? Okay, got one. Yes, Dan, yours is phenomenal. I saw yours. You're very detailed on that one. How's everybody else doing? Yeah, thumbs up. I like that. Okay. Exactly. That's one of the big things. And thank you guys, because that's going to be very instrumental this year. And it's a great way to make to really kind of get everybody out there and getting your unit out there. There's nothing more frustrating as a parent that you want to be interested in scouting, and you go to press on it, and then you go, and then there's no information on there. There's nothing. You just got a unit number. Parents want to be able to see that. They want to be able to have as much information as they can. Even if it's, so some of the things that you can do on here, who can update your PIN? Your key 3 or your unit can update it. Your committee chair, your chartering organization representative, and a unit leader, whether it's your Cub Master, Scout Master. This has advisor and skipper. That's for Sea Scouts and for your crew or Explorer Post. Or you can also designate it. As long as they are a registered leader, you can designate them. to be able to have access to the organization manager at my.scouting tools, which will allow them to set up your unit PIN. Now, when updating your PIN, now I've gone through Mohawk District, folks. I will tell you, I've gone through every single PIN. I have gone through to make sure that there's information on there, what was updated, what wasn't updated, and to turn on all of the online applications. So I know who's been done and who hasn't been done. But no, actually everybody looks really good, really good. But we want to make sure that they have their information at their fingertips. You want it to be a one-click thing. You don't want them to have to go in 12 different places or wait, because at that moment they're interested in scouting. Their child is interested in scouting. But now if they got to wait and wait and wait to be able to get information, we can slowly lose them if we don't follow up or get to them. A lot of times when I get leads in, I will send it to the unit. I know that you guys also get pinged with them, but I also like to just send it saying, hey, I got this in, through our Cub Scout leads. Here's a Cub Scout lead, and I will, or Scouts BSA lead. Here's this, here's all the information. I also then click it off as completed on my end, but then I also send a message to the parent, letting them know that it's been forwarded onto the unit, because we want to make sure that we're capturing them. But as you're doing your unit, is making sure your unit contacts are there. Make sure that this is who you know will respond and follow up to the leads. If you just put a name in there of somebody that you don't know is going to follow up, or maybe they're busy, maybe you do have a unit membership coordinator, or you have somebody that is the Tigger of your unit, the crazy one, the one that's going to be bouncing around, that is just woohoo about scouting. That's the one that you want to be able to respond, because you want them to get the parents excited. But just remember though, it does need to be a registered leader in the unit. And when you go in there to update it and you click for the contact, when you click down the little drop down, it will give you all your registered leaders' names. Those are one of the ones that you're going to pick to be able to be the contact person. So sometimes maybe it might not be the Cub Master or the Scout Master. Maybe you might want it, you have a new unit, you have a unit membership coordinator, or you have somebody a den leader that is just like, woo, she just like sparkles scouting. Well, that's the person that you want, and make sure that they are doing it. Unit websites, put in your link in there, put a Facebook page link, if you have a website, put a website link in there. The parents want to see what the unit is doing. They want to see all the fun that the Scout is doing. It gives them a way to be able to see, is this unit right for me? What are they doing? So you want to make sure. The additional information box, make sure you have your most current meeting information in there, your date, the time, where you're meeting, if it's a different place in your chartering organization. You want to make sure that stuff is in there. Because if you have a parent that's looking at this, and maybe there's like 3 or 4 units that are around them, but you also want to make sure that it's a right fit for them, meaning time-wise. Maybe little Johnny can't go on Tuesday nights because they have other commitments, but he can go on a Thursday night. Well, you don't want to not let him be like, oh, I'm not going to join scouting because, oops, it only falls on Tuesday night. You need to make sure that they have a choice, because whatever one is better, and we want to get them involved. And you want to make sure that they know what the day and time is on there. That is where I think some of the units, we didn't have all of that information in it, but make sure it is your most current meeting information. Not necessarily if you have an event coming up, because the units, the parents are not going to, when they see that, it's like, okay, that's great, but they're not a part of scouting yet. They want to know when you're meeting, or any information that you want to put in there. Additionally, make sure that is filled out completely. The online registration is turned on. They all should be. I did go in and turn them all on, so they are all activated. So that means they can go in, and we will touch on the online application process also. They will be able to go in there. They will be able to hit apply. Since I did it this morning, it's going to take 24 hours to be able to regenerate and refresh in there. But they can go in, they can hit apply. They will fill out the application. It will get approved. And then you guys would get like an email, just like you do for for the leads. And it will be there for you to approve. And then they can pay online, and then it's done. Then they are a part of the unit. Everything comes to us. It's all done digitally. So you don't have to worry about going to collect money, chasing the application down. Once you get the application, now you got to go find the charter organization rep, try to get that signed. Everything can be all done online, all at one spot. Plus, that would appear, you want to say where it says appear and be a scout is turned on. You want to make sure that's turned on. I've gone through a couple, and the information was awesome. Had a great. but that button wasn't turned on. So guess what? It's not showing up when you do it. You put in all this great information, but nobody's going to see it. So just make sure that up there on the top, there's two. It says appear and be a scout, and then it's also online registration. They should both be green. Excuse me. They should both be green so that it will show in there. And also set up make sure that your emails are set up correctly. I will show you in the next couple slides too. There are two different types of email features underneath the settings in there. You have a fees email and a welcome email. These are great tools to use. You can write a welcome email to your unit, you get to or to the new scouts that are coming in and letting them know all the basic information about the unit. Also, any reminders of your the first meetings coming up, any information you want to put in there. Then there's also a fees email where you can put in there, which would be if your unit is requesting any additional, if you're going to have den dues, if your unit has, pack dues, or hey, t-shirts. We also do t-shirts, unit t-shirts, class Bs, and they're $12. That would be and they're very good to use because then the parents know what to expect. We get it, you get them in, they pay their registration fee, and then all of a sudden it's, okay, now we need XYZ more and more, to do it. So, it's a great way to let them know exactly what they need, exactly what needs to be done. The fees you can also put in there, hey, if they sell popcorn, they get this, or we'll be doing fundraising, or the unit covers this. You can really put a lot more detail in them. So they're good features to use and take advantage of. All right, online registration. This is the fun part. One thing is, again, review and update your My.Scouting profile. You want to make sure that all of that information is correct, especially even to, like I said, making sure your contact is correct when you have it in your Be a Scout. Whoever you want to be able to, you want to make sure that they are set up. Because if not, these will not get to you. And you want to make sure this is, a lot of times when those leads come in, they're coming to us because they are interested in scouting. Those are, I almost want to say, I don't want to say easy recruitment, but they are like a no-brainer recruitment. They're coming to us looking to be a part of the unit. So why not take advantage of that and reaching out to them and getting them on board so that their young, their boy, their girl can take advantage of such an awesome program. But when we let them go on the side and then you follow up a month later, 2 months later, at that point, they may have lost interest. So always make sure that everything is updated and that you are also getting, and in your profile, you're getting those notifications. You want to make sure you set up your Be a Scout PIN. Configuring your online registration. This action needs to be taken by the committee chair or the chartering organization representative. The configuration allows you to customize the experience with each setting, such as automatic welcome email, in which is personalized message from the unit. So that is in your settings. So when you go into your invitation manager, you will go and there will be a settings, and then it says my PIN or unit PIN. It's in the settings part that you can go in and you can click what you want. Is your unit going to want to accept online adult applications? Or would you rather have them on paper because you want to make sure everything is up to date? If you want to talk to the parents, however you want to do that, you can set it up in there. Even to one of the things, I think it's on the next slide, but I'll dive into it a little bit, is that I know sometimes it's hard for us to be able to always get a hold of the chartering organization representative. Sometimes they're not directly involved with the unit. So it's hard sometimes to try to track them down to have them sign an application. The chartering organization rep can delegate and make a delegate for him or her to be able to sign the applications. So that could be, as long as they are a registered leader in the, in the unit, he or she can delegate somebody to be able to sign those applications in his stead. So that is one thing. They may need a little help to get on their My.Scouting to show them where to do it, but you can do that and have that being an option. Your invitation manager. Your invitation manager is your leads resource tools. This is where any of the inquiries from your PIN will come. They will come in and they'll await your response. Sometimes if they come into me directly, I will get ones where it says reassign, and then that's when I will reassign it back to the unit or reassign it to the unit that they're asking about, and then that's when you will get it. And then I will put a note in the column that I've seen it and I've sent it to the unit. And whatever notes you put in, I can also see them. So if I know you've taken care of it, then I won't even go in and touch it because I know that you've already reached out and have talked to the parent. Application manager. Application manager is a place where you're going to review and take action on all the applications that are going to be submitted by the families. Most families expect a response within 24 hours of submitting an application. So once you get that email, and you can set up your settings in there to get those notifications, just make sure within the time frame to being able to reach out to the parent. Yes, we've accepted your application, and obviously you want to make sure that you reach right out to them once they've done the application. That means that they are now a part of your unit. So whether it's a phone call to say hi, welcome to the unit, and then getting to know them, and then letting them know all the information about the unit. Notification and reports. When you have actions to take in either your invitation manager or your application manager, you will receive an email and in-tool notifications. You can also use this. There are some great reports in there that you can use to track the actions and have taken that have been taken in the system and who has joined through the system. So there is a great reports button underneath there too that you can run, where it's got your unit leader, or it's got your settings, your unit pin, and I do believe it's reports right underneath it. That's a great tool too, that you can go in there and there's a lot of different reports. You can look at completed applications, applications that need to be done, who's paid, who hasn't paid. You can, it'll give you lots of information there. So don't be afraid to go in and take a look at it. Might be a good thing for a committee meeting, or when you're doing your planning meeting, pull up your My.Scouting. Go through it with the unit leader so that they can see it, and making sure that everybody knows how to do it. And also too, when you go into your invitation manager, you're going to see like this little thing over here, which is called your QR code. That is where you can download your QR code for your unit that'll bring them right to your pin right through there. Or there's also a URL that's right next to it. It says copy URL. You can take either one of them, and that's what you can use, especially if you're going to be doing flyers with the digital age and modern technology. You can turn around and you can download your QR code. You can put it on your flyers. You can put it on your Facebook page. You can put it on wherever you want to do. And then somebody can just take their phone, go right up to it, click it, and it's going to bring it right to that page. So it's like, hey, you want to check out, Pack 7. Come join us for our trunk or treat. Click here for and boom, and it's going to give you all the information of where the unit is, where it, when they meet, who to reach out to. So take advantage of those QR codes too, because I think those are going to be very instrumental also. Setting up your application manager. This is where there is a couple good webinars, and I did put in further slides. Again, I'll send out all the because it is also on the scoutingwire.org, and I will send out the links with it also to everybody. Is they have Nationals hosted a whole bunch of webinars, and that's where I got a lot of this information about the online. They are open to anybody that wants to go in, and they have posted them in there under scoutingwire.com. And if you go to, I think it's marketing, membership and marketing at the top, click on there, and it will give you all the videos. And you can go in there and see these national webinars. They are absolutely phenomenal, especially the one with the online registration. One of the women that have created it and did a lot of stuff behind the scenes, she is there and she walks it through step by step by step by step on how to do it. It is a phenomenal one, and is a really good training or a good webinar for anybody to take advantage of. Take a look at it. That one I would highly recommend. It's their tech series, and it goes into a couple other things too with technology. But with this, you would sign on through your My.Scouting. Again, under the settings, the membership application approval, you can have it as a charter organization representative only, or you can have it as your committee chair and chartering organization is required. So you can set this up one or two ways. So what that means is that when you go underneath that settings tool, you can set it up to where it's only the chartering organization representative that can sign off applications and nobody else can. Or you can set it up that the committee chair and the chartering organization representative signatures approval would be required. Now, again, the COR can set up a delegate to sign on their behalf to make it easier. But that needs to be done through My.Scouting. The charter organization rep would have to go in and say who their delegate is. They have the option to be able to do that. They may need some help depending on if they are tech savvy or not, and walking them through that and doing that. So that might be a little bit easier too. Whereas if you have your committee chair and maybe, you have your Cub master, or you have, again, like a unit membership coordinator, somebody that's on the committee, treasurer, secretary, somebody like that you would want to be able to sign off on those applications and approve them too. Some units were using like their Cub Master or Scout Master because they're the ones that obviously are going to be, or probably would be, recruiting and working with the kids or even with the adults. So a lot of the units are just setting up either their Cub Master or their Scout Master as the second approval on that. You can also mark it whether you are allowed, or if you're going to allow or not allow adult applications. Some units are opting not to allow them. Some are. That is a unit decision that you guys can come up with. The type of applications for this pack, you can put in there, again, it's right underneath there. There's like different types of applications that you can click and fit in which ones you want to be completed. Again, there's your email settings too. You have your, unit can set up an email for all new applicants. And you have your welcome email. So I would say, take advantage of those two. Use the fee and the welcome emails. What a great thing is to send out a welcome email to all of your units, and all your new families that are like, hey, welcome, da 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 da. It makes it really, really nice. And you can set them up that they will automatically go out as soon as they have finished the application process. How are we doing on questions?
You were doing well, and just so you're knowing the time, you got 5 minutes till 8 or so.
All right, we'll get right through this. All right, we're gonna go because I know everybody's time is valuable. This is the unit family to family membership challenge. This is a challenge that each unit can do. You got 3 criteria, which is number 1, you meet with your district executive, a membership team member, and review the unit membership planning guide. This is just it's a tool that we're using to sit down with the units to help them plan for their recruitment, but also look at membership goals, kind of go over where how many they've lost last year versus where they were this year, and say, okay, what can we do to help you? It's there to help build up a membership recruitment plan for the unit individually, because I know my district, I'm very vast. We have a huge geographic. So we want to make sure that everyone is individual with that. 2, you hold a Cub Scout joining night or a troop open house, virtual or in person, and then you hit a membership goal that is set for your new Scout recruitment. And again, that's you sitting down with your district executive, you look at it and you see what the realities and see what you can do. If you hit those 3, you could win a weekend camp on us. You would just complete this criteria above, and the unit could get be on our way to a weekend of fun at either Rotary or Waukponomy on us for a weekend with your unit. So take advantage of that, but meet with your district executive. So reach out to me, Rihanna, Erica. It could be a phone call, it could be a virtual, it could be an in-person.
Or there's a question in there, is when it comes to online registrations, how does the unit receive the money from online registrations? They don't collect their own dues through that, right?
Right. Correct. The only thing you're going to have on the online registration, that money is just going to be the national fees and the program and insurance fees that we would collect. So that would just be just the $66 that would be collected at a time. Any of your dues that you would have for your pack, that would go in that fee email. And then you can let them know at that point if the unit has, some units have Venmo, some units have like a Google Pay, especially now with or if you guys are meeting in person, you would handle those separately. So the only thing that would be going through the actual online registration would just be the national fees and the program insurance fees. All right, this is a quick thing. This is we had gotten these booklets on these recruitment booklets that were really kind of cool. And one of the things they had in there was just one ask. It's just one ask that's designed to give your Cub Scouts and their families a recruitment tool to promote scouting. Existing families can probably think of at least one other family that they would like to share. Parents should invite their friends or child's friends and parents to join the next meeting. This should be a personal ask from each family. Have some of your family members that have been in for a while, ask that family to come in, or have, especially the Scouts BSA. Oh my Lord, there's so many of their friends, have them bring them in, have them come in and see a meeting and see what you guys are doing. These are some other additional methods. I won't go through every one of them, but these are some really out of the box different ways of being able to do it. Door hangers, you got Cub Summer Experience, launch events, fishing derbies, YouTube ads, a spirit day at a local business, where everybody wears their Cub Scouts or their Scouts BSA stuff. partnering with colleges, civic, business and community organizations, high school groups or organizations. So the penny stuffers are a good local advertisement too. So these are some different types of ways of being able to, different methods to be able to get scouting out there. There's a lot of different ways. Hey, the pizza box flyers, that's another one. We'll partner up with a local pizza company and see if you can put one of your flyers on the pizza box as it's being delivered. This, I won't go over everything, but this is one of the big things that's new, is a family-led Cub Scouting plan. This is a plan B of Cub Scouting. This is where the parents are the leaders of their children, and those children need to grow, whether or not we are physically distanced. Materials on the guide is recommended to use for family-led adventure scouting, where the parents lead and where the den and pack leaders are the parents' guides. They walk them through it, where your parents, the parents are doing the program. Again, they could take one of the adventures working with that, or they could work, it can even work at Scouts BSA too. They're working on things. You want to make sure that they are checking in. The den leader and the pack leader and the Cub master, it's a check-in. The den leader can check in and see how they're doing. What do they need? What can we do? What else can we, do you have any questions? So this is a really great program that one of the other councils is doing. I thought, again, I will send this out to you guys. I know that we're hitting 8 o'clock, and I don't want to take up any more of your time than I need to, because I know everybody's time is valuable. But this is a great program to look into, and I also have a lot of other pages and resources that I've created with this. So I will also send them all out to everybody that's on here. This might be a good program for some of those that don't feel. We had this happen in the pack that I met with on Saturday. Is they had like 4 out of the 5 scouts that were willing to come and do physical, social distancing, masks on with hand sanitizer, but there was 1 or 2 families that were like, no, we don't feel comfortable, which is perfectly fine. This is another option to keep them involved, keep them in scouting. And then you're also engaging the families, and they're working and they're creating memories, and they're doing it together as a family. So these are really some fun things to do. So I will send out more information on the Plan B of scouting, because there's ways you can do it as a troop level and also at a Cub Scout level. And again, these are just some more resources. When you send them out, you'll be able to click on these. They're direct links to the marketing hub. We got the new, the Family Fun Fest. Anybody that joined it a couple weeks ago, I was on it. I let it run all day long. It was absolutely awesome. They did it, Nationals put it on. They did a phenomenal job with this. They are redoing it again on September 12th. If you get a chance, jump on it and you can just let it run. It's a great event. They did a great job. Here is some more information for your online registration for councils. And then here are some den leader tips and tricks video series. And then down here is the Brand Center website. And again, when I send this out to you, it'll be in a form where you guys can click on them for the links. And then this I wanted to throw in there. Lish, look at, I got you on there. These were 2 that we had units. Pack 44 and out of Clifton Park is doing a really great recruitment event. It is cool. It's called the Festivals of Faye. And this again, out of the box. Mohawk District, maybe I'll send it out to everybody if everybody wants, because I'm doing a constant contact to just promote it out to all of our other units today too, is that, I don't know, they got to make fairy dust and they got to throw it over them as they go on this hike through the woods, through a trail, in order for them to be able to see the gnomes. And then at the end is where they're going to have recruitment. They'll have somebody sitting there with a social distancing, obviously with a mask on, that would be able to ask any questions or be able to, do recruitment for any of the parents or the families that are going through it outside the box. The other thing is Alicia at 357s for the girls. She posted this on Facebook, and I thought it was phenomenal. It was great job, Lish. She put it out there on the Rotterdam Spoon, and it's the video. It's a Scout Talk video that goes out there and it hits. Great job. This was really a great way also to get it out there. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to kind of showcase 2 different types of recruitment, but thinking outside of the box and making sure that it's getting out there for your units. Now that you've all listened to me talk for an hour, I am so very sorry. Any questions? How we doing, Drew?
We've answered all the questions to this point, so.
All right. Well, I hope this was very informational for everybody. I know there's a lot of jam-packed information. Most of you know my email. Most of you know me. Feel free, reach out. I will get all this stuff out. If not tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. I want to get all of the documents put together for you so I can get it out to you in a packet and making sure that you have all of the information. I thank you so very much for all that you guys do in scouting. Feel free to reach out to Erica, Rihanna. I'm sure they would be glad to help. They're there. So anything that you need. And again, thank you guys so much.